Holy shit. That's gonna be fun. Let me throw one more, but it's not gonna be with that. Holy shit, brother. I gotta throw it out there. No?
What's up, guys? Brunsnick's back, and we're here with Sarah Bowles.
What's up, chat?
What's up, chat, she says. In the last video, we talked about bowling on heavy oil. Now we're flipping the script and we're bowling on short oil. PBA Wolf pattern, 32-foot, shortest pattern I can find. So we're gonna throw some shots and we're gonna talk about the 3 key things that you can do to attack this pattern. So go ahead and throw a couple shots for me and we're just gonna get into this video.
Oh, that was way out there. Do you want it to hook super early in this? Like those first 2 that I actually threw?
So what she's encountering early is something that's very common when you get on patterns like this and you're not used to them, is when she first started warming up, she saw the ball hook, and your first instinct was to
move left.
Move left. So that is the first key thing that we're gonna talk about, is you don't move left on a short pattern if you're a right-hander. You move closer to the friction, closer to the gutter. So you have to go against your instincts and say, wow, this ball's hooking a lot, I better get further left, because then you send it wide like that and then the ball burns up and it doesn't have any more energy. So let's throw another shot. Let's throw another shot with the mesmerize and move further right. So I want you to play it more like from, where do you normally like to stand? 15 board?
Left foot, big dot.
No, we're the big dot, no good, okay? If you're bowling league, big dot, great.
Big dot, great.
Bowling on 32-foot wolf pattern, not so great. Move further right, as far right until you're comfortable. How about that? Where's the furthest right you can stand?
Like 12.
12, okay, stand on 12. And I want you to target anywhere between 5 and 6, somewhere in there, 4 to 6.
Okay.
Try again.
Yeah, that wasn't a good shot.
Yeah, the important thing on these patterns, okay, is being comfortable with the gutter. The gutter's your friend. If we talk about that rule of 31 where the ball exits the pattern, the rule of 31 says you should be at about 1 board at the end of the pattern. So if your ball's not out by the gutter, you have a very small chance of it actually hitting the pocket on the proper side. Try another shot. Keep those shoulders open toward the target. Okay. So that wasn't a bad shot, but right now, what's happening is the ball's reading early and it's hooking a lot. So even though you got a lot of ball speed, not a lot of res, I think we need to bring the amount of bowling ball you're using. So we need to use something that's a little smoother, maybe a little cleaner. So what do you got? What other options we got here?
My beloved Theorem, an Atlas hybrid, Chill Pearl, and a Mantra.
Okay, so why don't we look at the Theorem? It looks like it's at a box surface. Now normally on these patterns, you don't want to use a lot of shiny stuff. So when you're bowling in practice and you're warming up, let's try the Theorem, let's try switching that, see what it does on that same line, see if maybe it gives you a little extra length. Okay. We're getting closer. We're not quite there yet. So that's step 1, is getting your feet in the right spot and getting your targeting out by the gutter. So now we have a few more things we need to work on in order to really dial this in. I think the Theorem's going to be close, but there's going to be a few things we're going to change to really get this down. We've got a fresh pattern, so it's a really wet dry right now. It's going to take some time to blend out that oil to get a little bit of hold and a little bit of carry down. So let's throw one more shot here and we're going to work on the second step. So your normal release, you're trying to get around the side of it, right?
Yep.
What I want you to do is kind of break that wrist back just a little bit. Don't stay all firm, like cupped. I want you to stay more flat, and I want you to roll more up the back of the ball as opposed to coming around the side of the ball, okay? We want to roll this ball, and we don't want to crank it on the side. We haven't seen the results quite yet, but we've worked on getting the feet in the right spot, getting more up the back of the ball and kind of breaking it back and not trying to hit it so much because you don't want that ball to be violent off the spot. Now what are we seeing on the lane? The ball's, what's it doing for you?
Not hooking enough, essentially.
Okay, so what does that tell us right now? We could probably move it further, closer to the gutter,
Okay.
get more square with the gutter, and get up on top of the friction, like I like to say.
Okay.
Get on top of the friction. That's good pace. I think you just need to move your feet further right, keep your eyes right up the gutter side.
Okay.
Let's try a few more shots.
Oh my Lord, I can't strike. Life's great.
So, getting closer to the friction is so important. You almost have to get the ball to roll out a sense, because if you get that ball hooking like crazy off the back end, you're going to leave some pretty nasty splits, or you're going to cross over or worse. So it comes to the last thing, and this is kind of like a bonus, but urethane on these kind of patterns, there's a reason why you see the best bowlers in the world almost always defaulting to urethane or urethane type. Now, Sarah does not have a purple hammer or black hammer in her bag, but we're going to go to something smoother that maybe mimics a little slower response. This ASIM may not be the best ball out of the gate, so let's switch to a symmetric ball that has a little bit longer hook window, and we're going to touch it with a little bit surface. So we're going to take the Chill Pearl, we're going to take the shine off. Actually, we're going to throw this shot a couple times with it shiny, and we're going to see how it does. It might be good now that we've blended it out a little bit, but I think we're going to have to take the surface off just not to make it over-under. So let's give this one a shot.
Sick.
That's not bad. So it's a lot closer. Even though she didn't get it quite to the gutter, it didn't overhook and it didn't snap. So you always have to let your ball reaction be your guide, whether you need more surface. At this point, I don't think we do with this ball. It's just going to be a matter of being on target and making good shots. So now we're going to get into the last part, and I think this is going to be the last nail in the coffin for getting this ball lined up and getting her striking from the get-go, is more ball speed. So this is such an important thing, and it's going to be hard for some of you. I know you're going to say, hey, I already throw it slow, I can't throw it any harder, my legs hurt, I get it. And I think this is ultimately what's going to get her back into the pocket. That one was close, but in order to create that pocket hit, I think we're going to need just a little bit more ball speed. We've already taken the hand out, we've already gotten her feet in the right spot, but now we just need to up the speed, okay? So let's try it again.
Perfect.
Sometimes reaching back and getting that extra gear might only be a half mile per hour. That's all you need sometimes, maybe full mile per hour. But now you're set up, you're in the right zone. You got a ball that's a little smoother, that's not going to overreact at the spot, not going to dig in too early and be hard to control. So what have we learned so far? What are the differences between long pattern and short pattern that you figured out so far?
Ball speed.
Ball speed. So on a long pattern, your ball speed goes down.
Yeah.
Short pattern, your ball speed's got to come up. 2, where are your feet? You move closer to the gutter on a short pattern, and you move away from the gutter on a long pattern. You need to get away from that out of bounds on a long. You need to get closer to the friction on a short. And last but not least, hand position. So on a short pattern, you're wanting to come up more up the back of it, reduce your axis rotation, get that ball to blend out that wet dry. But on the flip side, on the long pattern, you want to increase your axis rotation, get that ball to respond harder once it sees the friction. So quite the difference and contrast between the patterns. Which one are you more comfortable bowling on, would you say?
I think they both need some work, to be honest, but probably the long.
Okay. Yeah, bowling on short pattern, especially like 32 foot where the ball hooks immediately.
Immediately.
It's a shock for a lot of bowlers. So when you get out there and you bowl these sport pattern tournaments that are on, maybe old wood even, or just putting out a 32-foot Wolf pattern just for the heck of it, you get to there and you're like, oh my gosh, these lanes hook so much, I need to move further left, and it is the wrong instinct. You need to reverse it. So I hope we learned a little something. Glad that Sarah was able to work on some things and show her a few new things in the lanes to get her lined up on patterns that she doesn't bowl on, short patterns. You know, I get asked a lot about short patterns and how do we tackle them and what are the common things that people run into. So rather than me try to show it and me bowling, I wanted to bring in someone like Sarah that can work on her game and that doesn't have a lot of experience on the pattern that she can learn as she goes. So, but that's all for this video. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys learned something. You guys subscribe to our channels. My channel, Sarah Bowles' channel. Really appreciate it. And also check out the merch, Inside Bowling, also on her channel, Sarah Bowles. And we'll talk to you guys on another video. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, chat.
See y'all later. So this is such an important thing, and it's going to be hard for some of you. I know you're going to say, hey, I already throw it slow. I can't throw it any harder. You know, my legs hurt. I get it. But in order to tackle short patterns, why
my legs hurt? What? All right, keep going. Have at it. My legs hurt. All right. We're good. We're chilling.